Okay, I've been welding on this thing all this morning.
All it takes is one job, oh yeah. All it takes is one job, and everything is gonna be okay.
Cut this off because it needed to be shortened down a little bit, but I've been welding on this edge and inside here. The inside, I ended up cupping the door jamb here a little bit for these little ribs in here, and then the outside I ended up leaving the inner structure that lapped under this just a skoshie, and then this piece goes, I just laid this on top, welded that corner. The nice thing about doing it this way is after I get this weld ground, you won't be able to see any type of a seam really on the job, you know. It'll look just like the factory welded in edge, or spot welded in edge, and this will look like one piece, which I like to do stuff that way. The front I kind of cut down, and you can see I had to cut off some of the door jamb here, and this is all leading to this overlapping in here a ways, and that is an unforeseen thing that's going to actually mess up a bunch of stuff, make the window not roll up flat, and all kinds of craziness. So I'll go into that later on what we're going to have to do, anyways, planned on what we're planning to do. But it's in there, it's holding, got our stitches back in that we had to cut apart to get this door jamb in here. I got a few tacks in the front here to hold the front skin, which will need a piece made. We kind of have our gaps going here and whatnot that are looking pretty good. I drilled a hole here and kind of brought that inner structure out here to kind of line that up a little nicer. And as I was messing with this front, it kind of lifted the door a touch, so I'm gonna have to bring it down a little bit, but we should have adjustment for that. Shouldn't be a big issue. So I'll get this ground down and we'll see how much more welding it needs. Usually it needs quite a bit of welding still to make that edge nice where you don't have to put any filler in. So on this edge, this is basically what it looked like before. It had this lip rolled in, and then there was my door skin, or my panel skin here. So when I welded it, I filled that gap there, and so that welds really this corner, this edge. So when I grind it, I'm taking the grinder and I'm grinding down this flat side of it. I don't mess with anything on this yet. I'm not putting the grinder at a 45 and grinding down the weld as one. I'm grinding down this side flat, then this side flat. After those are done, I'm taking it just ever so lightly and brushing it over this edge. And the way that I'm finishing them off now is the DA. So I'll put some 80 grit on a DA, and that helps me straighten out these edges and makes it look a little more uniform and a little bit more ready for if I'm doing any filler work there or anything like that. So just like my grinder, I'm going to do the outside, square it up, to leave like my low spots that show in the middle. See if they'll stand out or if that'll just need a little filler. After I ground it, you know, it showed those spots that I needed to get to. And those are a lot easier to weld up when that edge is still full of weld, you know, not all ground down. Then I'll just do the edge so it makes that nice curved edge like a factory door jamb. The sander's going to be a lot easier to sand that straight than the grinder. You can kind of see evidence of the weld there. You can weld that in. There's a couple spots that I need to weld there, maybe there. The ones that are sealed, the ones that you can tell are just spots, you can use a little glaze or filler. Ones that look like holes, need to do a little more welding. And it's harder to touch up those spots with the grinder when you have to do just single spots. But basically that's it. And I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. You know, can't really argue that.
All it takes is one job, oh yeah. All it takes is one job, and